Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? I want to share something with you that I've been growing through for the past couple years. That I think I've said before, but I really have to emphasize this. You really gotta know when you're getting qualified, and I'm gonna put this in my book one of these days. Uh, Qualified and unqualified advice. Um, because when you're getting unqualified advice, you get a lot of opinions. You don't get a lot of facts. You don't get a lot of. You don't get a lot of. You get a lot of emotions. You don't get a lot of logic. And like for instance, my beard, for instance, right? I've had multiple women tell me, "Oh, your beard looks sloppy, and your beard looks all over the place." And I got a haircut yesterday, and hold on, seeing my shit together, New York shit. And some people would say, "Oh, your beard looks too scruffy. It looks too all over the place." And being an online marketer, if this clean look just bothers you, like if my face bothers you, I'm not the one for you, and I'm okay with that because I know a lot of the people that I'm dealing with are more okay with what I'm saying at my mouth, not necessarily um, what I look like too much. But even as I brush my beard, right, I've grown through such experience where this wasn't um, what it was. When I first started, this was extremely patchy, but I had to let it grow, untamed. Like I know for years, I know what's working, and and I had to understand, like when my parents used to tell me, "Oh, your beard grow," because this is unqualified people. My parents both, even my father, because my mother, whenever my father would go through like the phases, my mother would discourage him, and he would be like, "Oh, it's not gonna grow," and he wouldn't nurture it or whatever he was doing. But for me, I decided that's what I was gonna do. So I knew your body. I knew to a certain extent your body does as your mind tells it to do. So so I know that when you're getting unqualified advice, they're gonna tell you, "Oh, this is too much." Because this used to be this used to be so patchy, and it took me years to get recognition after my beard was fully grown, and I had to come to the understanding. Well, my mother was giving me unqualified advice. I'll never forget when I asked her, "Mom, what about coconut oil on your beard? Do you know about that?" She said she don't know. Or coconut oil for your hair. She didn't know. I started to put it on my beard, and a couple months later, she started to put it in the bathroom to put on the skin on the hair and all that other stuff because she started to see it grew with my hair. And I had this friend who when I got a haircut, she was like you need to tame your beard because it doesn't look together. And I know what the goal is, and I know what it's like. I know what it looked like and what it took before then. I know what it's gonna take to grow. And you had like a garden of your own mind. You have to let it go untamed for a certain amount of time so you can learn how to grow it. You can learn how to, because you're never going to grow unless you're at a qualified state to deal with an untamed amount of effort. Because if you're always peeling this back, if you're always lining this up, you actually stop the growth of the beard. And what I had to like come into the understanding of was this, like right here, right? This is never going to connect if I keep cutting it down, right? Right here is never going to connect unless I let it grow. And I mean, even down here, connect for it to come out. It has to grow. I can't line it up because it has to grow. I want it to grow out. I want it to be for me to be able to put my hand through my beard. Like right now, uh, I can, I can comb it. I can feel it, but I want to be able to put my hands through it. Right? And I had to grow into the understanding, and I went the 360 waves and all that other stuff. I had to come into the understanding when you're talking to people who are unqualified, especially people who don't have this feature, they give you a lot of emotion and a lot of logic. I mean, not logic. They're not giving you science. They're not giving you YouTube videos. They're not giving you data. They're not giving you statistics. And it's the same thing in business, where I'll never forget when I was watching this guy on something called funneldash.com. And he was talking about how you get a client and stay with clients is you give them data, you give them numbers. And I realized a lot of people come off how they feel and not off of data, logic, and emotions. I mean, data, logic, and statistics and real, like, this is how you grow this amount of time in this amount of time. They won't give you data. They won't give you, like, data, shit, science. They'll give you emotion. And I had to grow and understand that's not always true. That may go off the preference of the person. And when I stopped listening to my parents about growing my beard, it went this way. It grew this length, right? Or it grew this length, right? And the only thing is, it's not really, really connecting because I'm not combing it out. I'm allowing it to curl on my face. And I had to understand, because I even want this to grow in too. I had to understand, like, yo, none of them are qualified to help me because they haven't been on the journey that I'm on. A. B. B. When you're getting qualified advice, it's so sound. It's almost acidine not to listen to the understanding. And most times when somebody is qualified, they'll give you where they've been, how it's done, this is how you scale, this is how you do it. And nobody's doing that for my beard. This is how you do that. They're giving me a preference of what they like. They're projecting. And when my parents were telling me to shave it down, cut it down, line your beard down, and I realized that, again, they were telling me from their preference, not off of how to do stuff off of logic, off of, I wish I could flip this around, off of, where's my, where, off of, off of, off of logic. Hopefully y'all can see this. Off of logic, meaning you're here and you want to be here. They're not telling you the steps on how to be here. They're telling you emotions. So they're telling you, when they say emotions, it's like here, 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 here. It's like this. Because that's entrepreneurship as well. An emotional roller coaster. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. They're not telling you the goals, the steps. They're not telling you the steps on how to get there. They're just telling you how they feel. So one day they might like it. The next day they may not like it. Somebody else may like it. Somebody else may not like it. And et cetera, et cetera. And they go from point to point to point. So this changes based on your growth. Their preference might grow, because I'll never forget, even my ex-best friend used to say, she didn't like my beard in the beginning, and because she started to see the growth, she saw me go from here to here to here to here to here to here, and she said, it looks good on you now, right? Because she saw when it was all patchy and stuff. But again, it was never, nobody was ever telling me logic, use coconut oil or use whatever. So learn the difference between qualified and unqualified advice. Usually, again, unqualified is based on emotion, qualified is based on logic. Peace.